So we're going to do a test game, sharp practice. We're playing Scenario 6, Rescue Mission, the French-Indian Wars, and we've got the person we've got to rescue there. That's a deployment jump-off point there. This is the British deployment, primary deployment. That's the French primary deployment, and as a general support I've got a movable deployment point which is over there. It's 24 inches away from my primary and over 30 inches away from the British deployment. So we're going to have a bit of fun with this. Having a game with John today. He's taking the British this time around, and these are the forces that we're going to use. This is a French. We've got 2 units of Canadian Militia Canadiens or something like that, but proxying in the line infantry there. Those are the ones with the red hats. Then we've got a unit of 12 Indians, and then we've got some cuir de bois. So they're quite handy little figures. These figures are all by Galloping Major, which is quite a nice company. And in the box here, I've actually used the provincials to be regulars, but we've got 3 regular British line infantry, and the Indians there are representing Rangers in this game. So that's the forces that we're using. So we're going to have a game now, and we're going to make lots of mistakes. As the scenario suggested, we rolled to see what generic supports we would get. Rolled a dice, and we were able to get up to 4 generic supports each. So for my Canadians, I went with a specialist, which was someone who can be like a sharpshooter or a marksman. And I went for a movable deployment zone because a lot of my units, being tribe and skirmish, were able to utilise that. John went for a colour party and a musician. Colour party and the musician, they were going to be helping in instances where they might have a problem with morale, and also the colours give them a bit of a help in hand-to-hand in the fisticuffs. So those were the generic support units that we took. So it's been quite a steep learning curve looking at the book, watching the video from Beasts of War. But what we've got is the French Corps de Bois have deployed from the deployment zone in there by the church, rescuing the person, and has taken a shot at the British, putting 3 points of shock. This was a big shock. Those are Rangers, the Indians proxying in for Rangers, took a shot at the Indians that were in the wood, and then 3 red flags came up for the British command, and they had to roll on random, which then made them run at the nearest enemy and contact them. And they did contact the 12 Indians that were in the wood. I rolled appallingly and lost 4 men to 1. Had to run away. The officer got wounded and knocked out, so I think they drag him with him rather than leave him lying on the ground, but I'm not quite sure about that. And they got additional shock, so it gave me 7 points of shock on that unit, and I lost 2 off my command points. The French deployed from their deployment on the far side and have done absolutely nothing. This unit deployed out, and the officer tripped over the furrow and sprained his ankle, because we had 3 blue flags come out in a row, and that's what he did on the random movement. Tripped over and sprained his ankle. So that's the tipping card come up, and that's the end of turn 1. It's only taken us 2 hours, so we're good. So the tipping card came up fairly quick for turn 2, and we're hoping that we did this right. So we had 2 command cards come out, so I've used 1 command card, which gives 2 activations to a unit. So the Corps de Bois have run out from the churchyard, taken the rescued prisoner with them, and reloaded as their second activation. We took it that because they're skirmish, they can move 2d6, so I actually rolled 2 6s for their movement, so that's where we've moved them, behind the hut there. Over on this side, I used the activation card to move the formation up and to take a shot at the Rangers in the wood. Because of the firing angles, only one group could take a shot, and it killed one Indian and no shots. Well, those Rangers, in fact, but killed one, but no shock. So we're now moving into turn 3. Right, end of turn, and the British top man has decided to take 2 actions. He's trying to do some damage to the rescue party, which is up ahead, and he's also trying to reinforce the Rangers who have captured the French primary deployment zone. The French leader, trying to not have any of this, has sent forward one of the Canadian militia units. Did take a shot at them, did cause a bit of damage, but not enough to get rid of them yet, and they are unloaded. This unit now in the middle took a shot at the British and killed 2, but didn't put any shock on them. No shock, was there? No. And the rescue party is still trying to get to the deployment zone, so we'll move into the next turn. So I think this is right. I went to play my 4 cards to activate a leader, which was going to be the one there which was going to shoot the Rangers on the primary deployment zone. But John had 3 cards, so he's gone for an activation on this unit here, but his officer has lost 1 level. So we're just going to work out what's going to be the shooting at the French Canadian militia. Tipping card has come up. The result of the militia firing at the Rangers was 2 shock and 1 man killed, which was quite a good shot, quite a good result actually for how bad it was. No, one kill, 1 shock, so it's taken them up to 3 shock. I think if they got 4 shock, they would have had to have withdrawn. But the Tiffin card comes up. We've got no other cards in play, so we're going to go into this last into one more turn, see if we can get some more action in, and perhaps I can get the place secured, maybe, and the prisoner off. Sadly, time plays its hand, and got to call it halt. We would be moving into turn 5, would we? I think
5 or 6.
5 or 6, but have to call it. We're both on 7 army points each. We started on 11. That's how it rolled, and managed to clear the Rangers off of the primary deployment zone. But John has got this unit coming round to cause a little bit of hassle. I've still got the Canadian militia there forming a shield and taking a bit of action on them, and I've got the prisoner coming round and 1 unit there staving off the other British unit. That unit up there is really quite out of the game. Once he sprained his ankle, that was the problem. And yeah, I think could be a draw. Could be a draw.
Could be a draw.
Could be a draw. That unit has gone. The Rangers have gone because they've got double the shock, and it's a tiffin card that's come up. So we've lost 1 unit apiece. So yeah, interesting game, learning the rules. Next game should be a bit quicker. We'll have to arrange it for next week so that we've still got the information up in our heads. Have a quick read of the book again, have a look at the videos, just to get it a bit more slick. But yeah, we quite enjoyed this. Rules seem to work quite well. The random element with the cards was good, working out which ones. So yeah, really useful. Good game to start off on. Yeah, so interesting game. Yep, I think it flowed well. Even with all the time it was taking that me and John were flicking through the rule book and checking out what we were doing, we got most of the things I thought probably about right. But obviously we will have a good look at it and look about it in future. But yeah, overall a thumbs up, and we're going to have another game, and that should flow a bit more. And I think once we get the hang of it and get a bit more games under our belt, it should be much quicker for us to game. So, hope you enjoyed this a little battle report. Next time I think we'll try and do a little bit more detail, but as it is, it's the first one. We try just to round up at the end of each turn. So, I hope you like the change from Bolt Action to Sharp Practice 2. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you think your friends might like it, please share. Leave a comment if you think we got anything wrong that you could notice, or just if you'd like to comment, it would be great. See you soon.